Hey guys, and welcome back to Mad About Skin. Today's video is dedicated entirely to smoother skin. Let's be honest, who doesn't want to wake up with baby soft, beautifully smooth complexion? However, there's so many things that can lead to texture and textural irregularities both on the face and on the body. And over a period of around 5 to 10 years of suffering with texture myself, I've really honed in on what I think are the best ingredients, products, hints, tips and hacks for helping to just smooth everything out. That's really what I want to share with you in today's video. So sit back, relax, and let's talk the secrets to smoother skin. Now, before we get into this, I want to issue a huge caveat, and I want to say, let's stop demonizing texture and textural irregularities in the skin. I get it, who doesn't want smoother skin? But texture isn't always a bad thing. I hear people talk about that poreless look. Why are we trying to erase our pores? They're the thing that keeps our skin healthy and regulates everything going on in our skin. Our pores are like our best friend, and whilst I, like everyone else, does crave that little bit more smoother and even complexion, we definitely shouldn't be ashamed of the texture that we have. Always remember that the texture always seems worse to you than it will to anyone looking at your skin. Chances are nobody even notices, and we should always bear that in mind. With all that being said, I would love to know what your favorite products and ingredients are for tackling any texture that you have in the skin. So sound off in the comments section below with your holy grail favorites. While you're down there, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and a like, because honestly, it supports me and the channel so much, and I would love you forever. But in true Mad About Skin style, shall we cut the waffle and delve straight on in and first talk about what can actually trigger texture and textural irregularities in our skin? Well, first and foremost, let's talk acne and congestion in the skin. Whether it's acne and whiteheads itself or just blackheads, these can sit below the skin and of course create those bumps. This can be the same thing for fungal acne and milia, which whilst they're not exactly the same, can also lead to bumps in the skin, which can give the appearance of texture. This is often exacerbated when we apply any foundation or makeup on top of it. You might think your skin is looking super smooth. The second that concealer or foundation hits, you think, wow, everything's a bit bumpier than I remember. But don't worry, because I've got some things later on in the video that'll help tackle all of that. Hormones can have a huge impact as well. This is the case for a lot of things that appear in our skin, which is why often our skin can change texture as, you know, throughout our life and our skin cycle, because hormones and the level of certain hormones can disrupt all of that. Dry and dehydrated skin can also lead to texture. Often people that have drier skin types say that their skin appears a little bit flaky, and that can lead to some roughness or a feeling of roughness in the skin. But again, I've got that covered later in the video. And finally, some people are just naturally more predisposed to texture and textural irregularities than others. And this shouldn't be a bad thing, because honestly, we're all unique and it's all part of what makes us special. To be honest, it really doesn't matter what causes the texture and the textural irregularities on your skin, because there's a couple of things you can do that will really help just increase the smoothness and dial back any texture that you have. And this is what I'm going to come on to this section of the video. All the products and ingredients are listed in the description box below, so if you do want to read about them in more detail, check the ingredients list, make a purchase, be my guest, they're all listed down below for your convenience. Also, everything I mentioned today will work with texture whether it's on the face or whether it's on the body. So if you're suffering with the old chicken skin, Keratosis Pilaris, KP for short, these hints, tips, hacks and products will also work wonderfully for you, so they're equally as applicable both on the face and the rest of the body. First and foremost, and this is super important, is exfoliation. I kind of think this is the obvious one, so it's worth calling out first. Exfoliation is when you use an acid or a physical exfoliation to remove the top layer of skin. Acid exfoliators, in my opinion, are the best, because what they do is they break the bonds that are gluing the dead skin cells onto the beautiful, gorgeous, smooth skin beneath. By breaking those bonds and increasing the rate of cellular turnover, it just means that the skin doesn't have the time to build up that texture and those textural irregularities. The bumps will appear smoothed out, and it can also help to tackle some congestion and blackheads that we have in our skin that can also raise the pores and give that textured look. When it comes to exfoliation, it's super important that you find one which is gentle. I think the days are gone when we'd be applying a 30% strength of glycolic acid to our skin, because that's just too much. And actually that can trigger inflammation, which can be another cause of texture in the skin. I honestly would say little and often when it comes to exfoliation. Find an exfoliant that is super gentle enough that you can almost use it every day or every other day. Build up your tolerance to these products, and honestly, you'll see the best results in the long term. One of my absolute favorites is this. This is the Geek and Gorgeous Calm Down, which has a beautiful blend of 4% polyhydroxy acid, which is a low concentration of the most gentle form of exfoliating acid, and also has a concentration of salicylic acid in here. Salicylic acid is fantastic because it'll really go into the pores and flush out the excess oil with it, the dirt, the debris, and everything that could be pushing those pores out and causing those bubbles on the surface of our skin. Whatever exfoliant you go to, just definitely make sure it's a gentle one that you can use regularly for the long term, because I think honestly, little and often is when you're going to see the best results. Lactic acid is fantastic for anyone that's suffering with dry skin, because of course that's That's also humectant, so it'll hydrate as well as breaking those bonds, taking away the dead and rough skin and leaving the gorgeous smooth skin below. If you're the opposite end of the skin spectrum, you have super oily, acne prone skin, then it's really worth reaching for a salicylic acid. Something like this, which is the Perfectly Clear Serum by Geek and Gorgeous, is absolutely fantastic. A 2% salicylic acid will be your best friend when it comes to just dialing back the rate of breakouts, but also decongesting the skin. Over a period of time, a salicylic acid will be fantastic at just smoothing everything out, particularly if your bumps and your texture is linked to the congestion that you have in your skin. Whichever one of these you use, you can absolutely take them onto the body, again, to just smooth everything out. But if you're talking about the body specifically, you might want to reach for a salicylic acid cleanser to use as a body wash, because honestly, it covers a larger surface area, so it cuts down on the time, and I think can be a more cost-effective way of tackling textural irregularities on the body. My favourite would be the Inculus Salicylic Acid Cleanser. It's my holy grail, and I use it every morning on the tops of my arms, on the thighs, and on other areas of the skin where I do have a little bit of texture, and honestly, over a period of a couple of months, it smooths everything out beautifully. Now, secondly, I think everyone should have a calming serum in their routine. Often we forget the calming serums because when we're looking to just skip a step, minimize things, it's always the calming serum that's the first to go. And I think that's a real shame, because honestly, the calmer our skin is, the less likely we are to see some of that texture. Inflammation can be one of the biggest triggers for textural irregularities in the skin, so anything we can do just calm everything down will lead to a smoother skin surface. I would definitely look for something that's oat based, because oats contain beta glucans, which are some of the very best calming and soothing ingredients that you can find on the market. One of my favorite soothing serums is also from Geek and Gorgeous, which is this. This is the Stress Less Serum, oat-based, and just dials back any redness, irritation, and sensitivity you have in your skin, which is absolutely fantastic. If you're looking for more of a cream rather than a serum, then Purita do a beautiful oat-based cream, which again I'll link below, which is absolutely fantastic to finish your skincare routine. Just make sure everything's smooth, everything's calmed, and any inflammation is dialed back. Because honestly, trust me, the less inflammation we have in the skin, the smoother our complexion is going to be. Now, the third recommendation is urea. This is like the unsung hero when it comes to skincare. I really don't know why more brands don't formulate with urea, because it's a standout star, ding ding ding, holy grail ingredient, particularly when it comes to textural irregularities on the skin. The way that urea works is, first and foremost, it softens the proteins that sit within our skin. This means it's a dream if you have very dry skin. That roughness that I said can often be associated with dry skin is because those proteins often become hardened. Using urea can really just soften everything down, which gives a more baby soft feel and a smoother look to our complexion. Urea is also a mild exfoliant, which means if you have very sensitive skin and you think, actually, I can't really reach for exfoliating acid at all, don't worry, because a little bit of urea in your skincare routine will just help to give a mild exfoliation, which over a period of months will help just smooth everything down as well as softening the skin. I honestly think it's a standout and fantastic ingredient. It's been the number one thing that's helped me get really in control of my chicken skin that I was getting on the backs of the arms. I used the Ultrist Urea 20% cream on the backs of my arms, and honestly, like that, in a period of about 2 weeks, my skin was blissfully soft and my skin confidence was glowing to the gods. If you don't want to reach for that specific treatment, and I do think that 20% urea is a bit much for the skin on our face, I actually formulated my own moisturizer with urea out of frustration of not being able to find it in many really good skincare products. This is the Mad About Skin Maximum Impact Moisturizer, which contains so many skin softening agents, but I'd say the key standout performer in here is that urea, which will soften those proteins, smooth everything out, and honestly, after a couple of uses, you'll know that the skin is much softer, much smoother, and your skin confidence is back up there. You can use this on the body as well as on the face, but I'd say if you're tackling your KP on the backs of the arms, definitely maybe go for a 20% urea, which is very specific to that Ultrist product. For the face, a little bit too much, and I'd reach for something like this moisturizer that has urea in a slightly lower concentration, but still will deliver so many great benefits. My fourth tip is azelaic acid. Anyone that's watched this channel before knows how much I adore and fangirl about azelaic acid. It is so good, and I honestly think it's the ingredient that's transformed my skin the most. I appreciate I say that a lot about a lot of different ingredients, because honestly I've got so many holy grails, but azelaic acid is just stunning. I covered the reasons why I think everyone should have an azelaic acid in their skincare routine in a recent video, which I'm going to leave a link to up there if you want to check that out. But in terms of softening and smoothing the skin, azelaic acid has got you covered, and it feels so good. It works by dialing back any redness, irritation, which is fantastic because again, again, we said that the more irritated and the more inflamed our skin is, the more likely we are to suffer from textural irregularities. But beyond just that, it gives a very light exfoliation, and it also will just help to smooth and soften everything out. It's also great for tackling hyperpigmentation, which is another thing, you know, that can really damage our skin confidence. While that's not the focus of this video, it's just a really nice added benefit of including azelaic acid. So many serums are now formulated with azelaic acid, such as my Mad About Skin Got You Covered Super Serum. But if you want to really dial it up and you want to go for a super strength azelaic acid, I'd look for something that's around 10 or 15%. And this, which is the Revox Azelaic Acid 10%, is a really great option, as is the Lumizalia Serum by Face Theory, which is a 15% option. Whatever you go for, azelaic acid will be your best friend when it comes to calming, soothing, smoothing, and softening the skin. Absolute ride or die favourite. Finally, I want to talk cleansing. So often with cleansing, we start our routine by just going in hard and fast with any old cleanser that's available cheap at the drugstore. This isn't always the best way. If you have really textured skin or you have very rough and coarse skin, then one of the best ways of softening it can be at the start of your skincare routine. Reach for a really gorgeous balm cleanser. The oils which are in these balm cleansers often soften the skin. They can help again with congestion and removing any clogs that are sitting within our pores. Just overall, I think using a cleansing balm can be a really great way to start your journey onto smoother, gorgeous skin. I captured in a recent video which cleansing balms I think are absolute ding holy grails, and there's one for every single skin type, so I'm going to leave a link to that video up there. Definitely worth checking out, because I think we often forget about how important cleansing is in terms of our overall skin appearance and health, and that's certainly the case when it comes to texture. Start with a beautiful cleansing balm to soften everything down, work it into the skin for say 60 seconds to 2 minutes to just really get that element of facial massage in, and honestly, your skin will be beautifully soft and any texture will just be smoothed out. So there you have it, guys, my 5 secrets to smoother skin. I don't think any of these actually need to break the bank or cost the earth. I think you can really dial up the rate of smoothness in the skin without having to reach for too many bougie and expensive skincare products. I'm a great believer that good skincare doesn't need to be a luxury, and hopefully I've demonstrated in that video today. I honestly think if you don't have urea in your skincare routine, you are missing out, and it's an absolute must if you want that beautifully smooth and soft complexion. Beyond just that, azelaic acid can be an absolute fantastic addition to your skincare routine, and don't forget that using a really nice cleansing balm just gets everything moving, starts your routine off the right way, can really help to soften the skin, ready for the rest of your gorgeous serums. Wherever you are in the world, guys, stay safe, stay well, and love your skin. Take care. Bye.